Okay, good morning students, or good afternoon. This is the tutorial on creating the home screen for your mobile theme. I've got an example here of one that I created earlier. Basically the home screen is just made up of your icons, usually your carrier's bars, your carrier name, time and battery life and whatever else is needed for your home screen. This is a very, very minimalist one. All I'm doing is just grabbing the background, putting in sort of what I like to call the sink, where you have your icons that stay there permanently, and I'm just putting this top strip up the top, which just have got the bars and the carrier name there and the time, as I said before. So to make this, it's very easy. We just basically grab our wallpaper, grab the icon that we've made, and then we just create some of the icons just up the top here and set up a couple of guides. So this is only a quick one, so let's get started. So let's first of all open up our wallpaper. So I'm just going to open that one up. Go to our wallpaper that we created earlier. Okay, there we go. And as we can see in the layer panel just over here, I'm just going to quickly just make this background layer live, just so we're just going to get rid of this padlock. So double click on the layer, hit OK. It's now live, it doesn't have that padlock anymore, and we're going to pop those in a folder. So hold down Shift, click all those layers, and then I'm going to hit Command G to group them, put them in a folder. There we go. It just makes it nice and neat for us, and I'm going to call this background. Okay, then I'm going to create another folder, and I'm going to call it top strip. So it's going to be that top bit up the top, and then create another folder and call that the sink. There we go. And we can color code these as well by right clicking on them, and you can select a color, so if you want it to be violet or whatever. So that's another great way of organizing your files and folders. So now we've got our background layer. Let's make a rectangle for the sink, just this bottom bit here. Okay, and we'll make the top strip. So something that I'd like to do is set up some guides. So you can see the rulers just at the top and the side here. To put up some guides, it means that your icons will snap to those guides. So if I turn them on in our original one, there we go, you can see these light blue lines, and when I hit my cursor near them, when I've got the selection tool, okay, I can move these guides around, and I can set them up so that they all align together. So when I've got lots of icons, they'll snap to these guides. Okay, so let's set up a couple of guides, and it's just having the selection tool selected and then just dragging from the rulers. Okay, so however thick the width you'd like your top strip to be and your sink to be, you just drag those guides in. Next I'm going to create a rectangle, and I'm just going to get the rectangle tool, and I'm going to make sure I swap that to white. So I'm just going to switch these here. And you can also hit X as well to swap the colors. It's a shortcut. And I'm just going to click and drag just to make those bits there. So that's the sink, that one there in that layer. And the top strip, I'm going to select that folder and create that one now. There we go. Excellent. Now let's zoom in. So Command plus or Command minus to zoom out. Let's zoom in and put the carrier name. So I'm going to swap these swatches around, hit the black, and I'm going to get the text tool, and my carrier name is going to be, whoops, let's just cancel that. That's another thing. If you can see my icon changing to a cursor when I scroll over the rectangle. That means that the writing is actually going to head inside this area here. But I want my text to appear outside, so I'm going to make sure my cursor is not that circle, not inside the rectangle. So you just click somewhere in the background. I'm going to hit Virgin. And I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. I've just got that way too big for my previous thing. I'm just going to hit Command A to select the whole lot. Click and hold to scroll that down, and I'm going to select lovely sans serif font, Helvetica New, which is my new favorite font. There we go, and I'm going to make sure I swap it from regular to light, or even ultra light. It's very nice. Keep it light. Okay, just put a capital in there too. Again, we need to just dial that down quite a lot, and then just pop up the top here. There we go. we can just use the arrow keys just to position it a bit better. Okay, next I'm going to put the time in. So let's zoom in again. Okay, hit the text button, click the cursor in the center, and I will make the time 12 o'clock. There we go. Hit the arrow to confirm. Okay, next step, let's add the battery percentage in. So I'm going to put it at 75%. Again, pop that at the top. Okay, and next thing we'll create our little carrier bars here and a little battery icon using some rectangles. So it's very easy to do. First thing I'm going to do is just create a new folder within that top strip. Actually, let's just pop all these rectangles in that top strip folder. There we go. Alright, and inside here I'm going to create a new folder, call it battery. And inside that one, that's where we're going to put all our rectangles. So select the rectangle tool, scroll over to where the battery will be, and as we zoom in you can start to see the individual pixels. That's fine. Okay, and then let's draw our battery. So I'm just going to make mine 2 pixels wide. So that's 1 pixel wide, 2 pixel wide, and for some reason it is white, but that is okay. Let's just double click on the layer there and make sure it is black. There we go, so the fill is black, we can see there. And you can see that it's 2 pixels wide. Same with the top bit of the battery, I'm going to make it 2 pixels wide. And at this level, it's very easy to see it snap and level up together. But if you were editing on a larger scale, you might want to set up your guides just so, oh, and I've actually just done that wrong as well. So you want to set up your guides so that they are in line. So let's just select that shape again. I just hit A, and I'm using this quick selection tool just to select each shape. Or you can select from the layer panel. So I'm just going to select from there, hit Command T, I'm just going to snap that in there. There we go. So that's one of the fantastic things about using these guides. Okay, next let's create, oh, and I've just hit the rotate tool there. I'm going to hit the shape tool. Next bit of the battery, it's snapping I can see to the guides. Next bit of battery too, and I want to have it the same, so the 2 pixels wide, so I'm just going to readjust that. There we go, in the center. And then just the last bit of battery, we'll just create this little cap on the end. Let's zoom in a little bit more just so we've got more control. Again, I'm going to select my rectangle tool. The shortcut for that is U. You'll start to memorize shortcuts when you use it quite a lot. And you can even hold down, if you hold down Alt while you've got the Move tool selected, or Option, Alt Option, you can see my cursor changing to a double arrow. Okay, actually I can drag that down and create this exact same rectangle. Okay, again if I hold down Alt Option, click and drag, Command T to rotate it, position it correctly, hit OK. Zoom out just to check the bit of quality control on that, and I can see my cap is way too big, but that is okay, we can adjust that. I'm going to hit A to select these bars here. I'm just going to bring these in. And I'm just holding down the arrow keys to move them. Okie dokie. And that's the battery made. And we can actually see that that's all in one folder here. So if we want to move the battery around, if we're not happy with its position, and I could still bring this cap in just a little bit further as well, I can still move that around if it's in the folder. So there we go, it's all together. And I might come and adjust that at a later point. Okay, so next thing, let's create some bars over here. I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to call that carrier bars, just so we know what we're working with. And we're going to end up with, you know, over 100 layers at the end of this. Okay, let's again select our rectangle tool, and I'm going to actually put some guides in because I want to control the height and where it starts. So select the rectangle tool, or the shortcut is U for that. Zoom in just a little bit more. I'm going to create my first bar. And I'm really just going to use my intuition for how wide I'd like it to be. So we can always change it later, which is fine. Okay, I'm going to hold down Alt till I get the double arrow, click and drag. Okay, I'm going to make it 2 pixels wide, drag it up again, hit enter, hold down Alt, Command T, drag it up, hit enter, Alt, click and drag, Command T, stretch it out, enter, again hold down Alt Option, drag it out, confirm just at the top or hit enter. Okay, and I've got some carrier bars there. Now a little bit short and stubby, so we can actually select the whole group over here, hit Command T, and we can stretch that out so it hits the height that I'd like it to. Okay, and that is basically the start of our home screen. Next thing I'm going to do is just drag the icon in for the camera, and then we've basically got the start of our home screen set up. So let's get our icon. Okay, and I've got it just over here. Let's open that up in Photoshop. And I've already flattened my layers here, but it was originally in a group. You'd want to flatten it by selecting the group and then right-clicking and going Merge Layers to get it all in one. Then I'm going to right-click or Control-click on the white text and duplicate the layer. I'm going to duplicate it, camera icon I'm going to call it. And I'm going to send it to the destination of the new document that we created. So that was, I think it was Wallpaper tutorial, that's the one. There we go. And this is how we can tell if it's been imported or not. We can see that it's been imported here. I'm just going to pull it out. There we go. We'll take it out of the sync as well. Just take it out of the sync. Then I'm going to hit Command minus just to zoom out a bit, and then Command T, whilst having the icon selected, which I didn't have selected, so wrong thing I took out, but that's okay. Command T. Okay, and then we're just going to shift click that down, Command plus, bring that in, zoom in, and then we can set up our guide layers as well, and then when we've got more icons in there, we can drag them and position them like so. Okay, and if I don't want to see my guides anymore, I just go to View and just turn off extras, or it's Command H. There we go, and that concludes the home screen tutorial.